Well, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here. Today is July 17th. Another hot day outside, but no sun. But very hot. It's supposed to rain overnight, no rain. It's been quite a few days now without rain and a lot of hot temperatures, so things are drying out outside. Okay, so I think we're in a position now to attempt to do the IF alignment in this radio, which is normally quite straightforward, very similar to other radios. Beyond that, the alignment steps are complex and difficult to do, but this first part is pretty easy. So let's do the IF alignment. We'll get it sorted out and then see how the radio performs after that. And okay, so I have to have it tipped up on its side here. Okay. Now, right now I've got the, from my last adventure in here, I've got the sweep generator connected. We could start with that and see what we can get from it. And that might be a good way to go right there, as opposed to just using a voltmeter or something of that sort, since it's already hooked up and ready to go. Okay, let's turn on the radio. We have to give it a little bit of time to warm up and stabilize. Not plugged in. Let's try again. There we are. Now, we're supposed to be feeding in our... Oh, that's right, I don't have a marker generator for the sweep. Well, okay, well, we can still do it. Okay, this is the sweep generator, and we're going to attach it there and to ground. Use that screw. Okay. We'll turn on the sweep generator. Scope. See what we get out of this. The scope needs to warm up too. Okay, a little more. Thing. Now we're sweeping from 400 to 500. We should be hearing that. I'll raise this higher. There we are. There's not enough input. You can see something happening on the scope here. It looks terrible. Should be roughly in the middle. I don't know what that is. Well, even though it's not warmed up, we can start fooling around a little bit. Let's try this guy here. Now, the slug that was so much trouble, let's start with that one. Still having trouble. never cranked that slug all the way out to look at it. It's still unworkable from below. Okay, wasn't expecting this. Try this little tiny screwdriver, but what's happening? Okay, it's not happening. What has transpired here? It feels like the slug is broken. We gotta take it out and take a look at it. We gotta take it right out. Unlike what I did last time. Can we take it out? Well, I can't take it out from the bottom. I can't get it to move. We have to take it right out of the top. We have to take the can off again. We have to do everything over again. Okay, let me set this down, and then I'm going to take a little break because I'm a little disappointed here. I should have taken this can right out, or taken the slug, the second slug right out, and looked at it when I had the chance. Okay, top slug out. These the plastic housing, if you like. In this case, it's a plastic tube that the coil is wound on. It's not strong, and it's not held really solidly at the bottom either. So if you turn the slug, if you turn a stuck slug too hard, you'll rip the coil form apart. Okay, here's the upper one. I could drive it out the bottom, you know. I can drive it out the bottom if my screwdriver is long enough. Do I have one? I guess I could drive it with one of these other. I should drive it out the bottom. Then we can get a look at it without even taking it right out, also. I can see it down there. far enough to see now. Oh my gosh, what happened to the camera? Oh, I gotta apologize for that. Did I step on the cord or something? What happened? I was way off. Okay, very sorry about that. Okay, that's just about the limit. Don't go too far. I'll be able to screw it back up. Let's take a look underneath now. Let's see what's up. Brackets usually just fall right off. What the heck? Okay, I don't see the. Certainly didn't come through the bottom here. I gotta steady the. Gotta be close enough to see it. How come it's black? Okay, switching cameras here. This does not look like it's metal. This one does look like it's black carbon. And the slot appears to be badly worked by me. I've got it down. Can you in any way tune these things one side at a time? The reason I'm asking that is because I can probably drive it upwards, but I can't drive it downwards. Is there any way you could possibly? I don't think so. I think you have to have the other slug roughly in place. I'm not sure what I'm seeing there yet. Let's look more closely at it. Okay, let's take a close look here. This is my super close-up camera here. Interesting thing about this camera, this is a ear inspection camera, but we're not sticking it in my ear. You see in the background, and as I rotate it, the background stays level. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. Really, it doesn't look anything like. I'm gonna hold. This is what a metal one would look like. Oh my gosh, I can't swear to what I'm seeing here. With it up this high, I might be able to get a screwdriver in there at the same time. Ooh. It looks wrecked. It doesn't look metal. What's all the black stuff? And, if I turn it this way, it just cams right up the edge. You can see the ramp. If I go the other way, it's got a grip. I got a grip in one direction. Okay, what about this one? This other one. See, that looks like metal. I don't get it. Is it just jammed in there? Because, like, this is a plastic tube. What's all the black? The black would be carbon debris. This just looks like metal here. I don't think it's not metal. How did this edge get broken here? I'm picking at it. Kind of trying to pick at it. Gonna crank the slug right out, turn it around, get it out, take a look at it, spin it around, and put it back in with the good end down. That seems to be the only way to do this. Okay. Okay, I've started the slug on its upward journey here. Sort of. Getting anywhere. It's not coming up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? So, what I'm afraid of is it is a carbon slug, and I'm beating the top of it off too. It feels terrible. Oh, there we go. That's in. Yikes. See, I don't think the screwdriver is coming up at all. It's probably because I'm pushing down at the same time, and this is not a threaded tube. It's just a tube. Holy smokes. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. All this wiggling of the of this, and eventually it's going to break some of the wires down there too. Oh my. Am I just mistaken about it coming up? I just do this so gently that I'm not pushing down much. Screwdriver just won't engage. There we are again. Come on up. I'm going to have to push it from the other end. Yeah, I don't think this has come up at all. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. I can lay this flat on its front. I think I can. I don't have a clip in, and I push on this. I'm pushing on the entire coil. Somebody go somewhere. Well, I can feel both screwdrivers turn together. In fact, this lower slug feels pretty good. Feels really good there. Not the other way. We're going to drive it out this way. Okay, I'm trying to x-ray the tube so I can see where the slug has gotten to. Oh, it's coming up. Don't break it off. What's happening? Give you a little bit of a different view here if I can. Let's see. Good. What's the matter here? Suddenly I cannot get a grip on it. this is a real bad time is being had here. There we no. Wow, something's really not working out. Okay, have a look at the end of my screwdriver here. Come on, camera, you can do it. Focus. That's the wrong way. See all that carbon crap on there? It's a carbon slug, and I have ground the heck out of it. I have ground the heck out of it. Oh, no. Oh, no. We got 3 steel slugs and a carbon. Wow, this is not a good situation at all. This is not at all a good situation. What are the chances the slug has come to rest in exactly the right spot where it needs to be? I would say pretty much none. No chance of that. I've driven it right up through the lower coil, up almost to the upper coil. It's right in between the 2 coils. I don't know. I gotta stop for a bit. It's bad, it's bad, it's bad. So if in fact where we're going now is gotta replace the whole transformer, I do have some. I actually have some here. Would they work? Probably. Would these work ideally? Maybe not. I'm not sure. I've seen one radio with a replaced IF. And it was an older radio with a large IF can, and the other IF can was a little one like this, a little wee one. And at first I didn't notice it, but then later I did notice it. Oh my gosh, that's a replacement. They put this little can inside a radio with a big IF can, and it worked. So maybe that's a possibility here too. And some of these are not appropriate. This has got six leads on it. This one I took out of a radio. See, it says SMD on it. That's silver mica disease. This one suffers silver mica disease. The other ones appear to be new. This is brand new. This is a 4-pin. This is very, very similar to what's in there. Question is the capacitor built into this or not? And looking at it, can't be sure looking at it, but I think so. I think I can see the elements. So this one's got a capacitor built into it already. These ones, let's say Admiral, genuine parts, 455, 4 pins, but we can't tell if there's a, no, it says right there, it's got a capacitor written right on it. There's C1, C2, what's that? C1, C2, so it'll be a primary and secondary. Sorry, that's out of focus for you. So this has a built-in capacitors too. They don't appear to be any built-in capacitors on here. So the resonating capacitors must be, normally they would be installed very close. That's a big one. That's a big one. They should be little small guys. And over here, there's a smaller capacitor right here. And I don't think they're built in. Okay, if I desolder these and take the whole thing out, what more can I do? Well, I could probably do something more with it once it's out of the radio. So that's really the next stage, would be remove it from the radio and really go to town on it. Okay, I see my camera's decided to focus on the background instead of the foreground. Come on, camera. What a day. I have to go to the grocery store now and pick up groceries. Okay, back from the grocery store. I'm going to remove this from the radio. So to do that, I have to desolder all the connections that are on these different posts, and then I can remove it, and I'll try to maintain the position of all these wires so I don't have to worry about where they go. Just to show you how I'm approaching this, I'm using some copper braid here to remove the solder. I have a cat poking at my left arm right now. And now he's climbing up on my shoulder. What are you doing here, Bert? There he is. He's more interesting than watching me desolder something. What are you doing today? Bert, what are you up to? I think he's on his way. I think he's going for the microphone. His daily microphone play. If I complain to him about it, he doesn't really seem to care much. Bert, what are you doing up there? Off here. Well, you know, if he's doing that, he's not doing something else. Somewhere else. Okay, one of these connections has a fair bit of solder on it here. What are you doing? Why you like the chain on your nose for some reason? Okay, I think I'm almost done here. Desoldering. Okay, you're no longer the star. Back to the radio here. Now, let's try this red wire first. First I had to do a good job putting it on. Now my options here, I could just cut them all off and then shorten them up a bit and stick them all back on. I'm going to take a closer look at what the situation is, because it looks like there's still lots of solder there. I mean, you can't get rid of all of it necessarily. Oh, there we go. Well, I think I should be able to work those off. Okay. Let's see what happens here.
there. Really want to be rugged with these things. Come on. This is what lies in store for all these connections. Yikes. Cutting it is a better idea maybe because I'm working this so much. Let's try another one, see if we get another one to pop off. I just looked up at my cat. He's looking down at me with great intensity. Come on, just pop off there. See, what they've done is I think they fed all the wires through, through a hole, as they should. And that makes them very hard to get off. So we're going to do a lot of damage here at this rate. So really, the best option is just cut them. Cut them off and shorten them up afterwards. So who can shorten up? Well, clearly this red one can easily be shortened up. Ooh, you know what I better do? I'm going to take a photograph of that right now. I can do it using this piece of software that we're looking at. Okay, just there we go. Uh-oh. Did I just freeze up my whole... There we go. Oh. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Just see, still under observation here. Okay. Now, so this resistor looks pretty long too. Don't be too worried about cutting that. And, we're not leaving enough wire here for the capacitor. Let me try and pick that one if I can. Nope. Bert has left. It's kind of loose, wobbly here. There we go. You probably got a better view of this than I do, actually. Got one out. Which one's that? Having trouble seeing this clearly. Yikes. This I cut. What am I doing? Yeah, just right there. Capacitors out. Resistor. Yeah, you do. Actually, I looked up at the TV right now. You got a better view of this than I have. You got a much better view of it. So if you see me doing stupid stuff, it's because I can't see so clearly. Come on out. There's enough resistor in there. I'm going to cut it. If I regret. Oh, it's loose. It's off. It's just caught in the hole. Caught in the hole. There we are. So these two go there. Now that one. Come on. You know, it's a wire, and I got a lot of wire there. Cut it. Jim, what are you doing? That's 3 of 4 of them. So we got this resistor. Capacitor 2. So I'll probably replace this capacitor anyway. So don't worry about that. And we got a red wire and a green wire. But they're wires. There's a little extra length. Just going to cut them. And the resistor I can cut too if it turns out I can't get back. I'll put a new one in. Okay, that was exciting. I really didn't plan on putting that on video, but there we are. Let's just get a hold of it here. Here it comes. There it is. You little monster, you. Now it's out. Let's take a close look with the close-up camera. Let's see if maybe there's some stuff here to be seen. Now I'm going to have to freeze the autofocus on this camera because when you look at a small item, it will tend to focus on the background all the time, or hunt. Do a lot of hunting. I don't want that. Here we go, manual focus. A little bit closer. Okay, like that. First of all, did I break any wires in the process? I don't think so. They all look connected. So these coils, to me, are one of the features of a radio that is germane to that particular radio. Like maybe not so much this kind of thing here, because these are very common, these kinds of transformers. They're intended to be tuned. Talking about tuning, is there a capacitor built into the base? So I'm looking in this clear plastic block to see if there is in fact metal sheets embedded in it. It doesn't really look like it. We'll have to look on the schematic too to see what it says, because if the capacitors, like, you know, this is the coil, it needs a capacitor, and then together they produce a resonant circuit. The capacitor has to be somewhere, and often they're built right into the base of these things. And they are problematic. I don't see one. So that means the capacitors are discrete components in the radio, some of which I probably disconnected there. I don't know. Let's take a look at the schematic and see if it can reveal a little more about this. Okay, so if we look at this, let's look at this one. So this dotted line represents the metal can. This
is the Slug. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Okay, so these are the slugs. See, they have arrows on them to indicate they move. And although they show the coil in the classic transformer, you know from seeing it, the second coil is down here. Doesn't really matter. So here's the capacitor that I'm talking about, and they show it inside the can, and so I think it's integral. Over here too, integral to the transformer. So even though I couldn't see it, it must be in there. It must be in there. This makes a lot more sense doing this than installing the capacitor maybe on the terminals of this, which is an alternative, or even running wires to somewhere else into the radio and putting it there. That's just not a good idea. So it's very good to tuck this capacitor right up tight to the coil the way they've done it. Except I don't see it. How can we prove there's a capacitor there? How would we do that? You'd have to see a resonance in this thing. Yeah, and I got one slug that's basically in between the two coils now, and the other slug is sitting on my bench somewhere, or have I lost it already? Onto the floor. Well, boy, oh boy, 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 boy. I think I'm gonna go back to the camera here. My alternatives here, not that one. Because they list capacitance, these probably are built-in, have built-in capacitors. This is probably a straight replacement. I could probably take this and figure out primary and secondary and stuff like that. I can probably stick it right in there, and we're back in business. That's probably the case. But that's a journey too. So we're going to stick with trying to make this thing work. I think I'm done here for today. Tomorrow we'll play around with this thing. We'll inject signals into it. We'll try to make it resonate. Convince me the capacitor's in there. It must be in there. You know what? I can see it now. I can see it now. So if you look this way, let's put back on the other camera. We look at it this way. I guess it's still a little hard to see, but this terminal, metal terminal, bends around and turns into a flat plate. Let me get a better pointer here. My finger's too big. Turns into a flat plate running right in here. You can see it. And then there's another plate coming from this other terminal over here, which I'm having a hard time pointing at, right here. So the two plates, basically the terminal metal bends underneath and becomes a plate. So there's two plates running in here. You can kind of see them in there. They're hard to see this way. Those plates are separated by some kind of dielectric material, non-conductive material, and they form a capacitor. You only need a few picofarads of capacitance to balance against the coil here, and produce the resonance at the frequency you want. And it doesn't take much of a capacitor. In a lot of radios, these inherent capacitors fail. They suffer from a weird condition called, well, I guess it's not weird. Silver mica disease is the common term for it. It has to do with the silver in the capacitor plate migrating and corroding. Okay, so I don't really need to prove anything about this. We need to just get busy on the slug. Where are we at? Let's give it a slug. Let's give it a slug attack here. I was trying to back it out at the top. Wow, it really looks like a metal one. But what was all that carbon crap? Look
I'm looking at it, I can see it. Oh, wrong camera. Wrong camera. Well, maybe not the wrong camera. Well, I can see the slug right in there. It looks like the metal one. I just have to somehow get it up and out. At the same time, I got to remember not to break these little wires. Get in there. There. Why is it? It cams out so easily. Maybe it's a lousy screwdriver. Hey, I can put a bigger screwdriver in now. With a wider blade. Yeah. Push so hard. Ooh, push up from the other end. Carbon. It's a carbon slug. Okay, what do you think about what you're doing here, Jim? The capacitor is in here. The slug is available. I can do all kinds of stuff with it when it's out of the radio like this. Why don't I, tomorrow, will try to tune this transformer on my bench and install it tuned. And at the very least, I'll have it close. And we'll stop trying to extract the slug here, because what if I did? What if I did manage to extract it? How's that going to really help the situation? Oh boy. We're just on our way to another transformer here. They really mucked this one up. Okay, so I'm turning the slug down. We would want the slug to be below the coil, I would imagine. Well, maybe not completely below, but more below than above. Oh. This would be a real long shot. And if I have this tuned outside of the can, like if I don't put a can around, does that... The objective would be to get this close. So I have the slug now. It's basically right in the coil. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so what we'll do tomorrow, we'll experiment with this thing, fool around, see what happens. That's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. This is turning into a very difficult project here. Have a good day.